This is week 2 of our Christmas cards. Hi, this is Kelly with Kelly's Creative Dream Studios. And I have another one from the Paper Pumpkins today. My goal is to break down all of the Paper Pumpkin Christmas kits in this Christmas card series. I'll have all my Christmas cards done, and I'll have another thing out of my office. So before I show you this one, I got these done last week with our cardinal, and then on the inside, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year from a different stamp set. So I have 6 of those done. Now for these to go on the card, I am going to have in the envelope, I am going to have to trim these down. Whoops, so let's see if we can go ahead and do that really quick. Are you thinking about Christmas? Are you getting done? It is time to think about it for sure. I had 20 degrees this morning as I'm recording this on Monday. No, take that back, 27. My friend in Halltown had 20 degrees this morning. She's about halfway between Springfield and Joplin, so it was a little colder north of me this morning. A friend of mine in Indiana, I think yesterday, had snow. No, I'm not ready for that either. Okay, so there are 6 Christmas cards done of those, and I'm going to start me a box over here. Now, this isn't one we're going to make today. This is another part of that same kit where we had the one with the cardinal. I'm going to do these next week, and I think I'm going to try and do both of these next week. We'll see how our time goes, but this is the one we're doing today. And I have everything prepped to do them all, except I saved one to show you how it was going together. Let me get my little dot out of the way. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this in first. And I am using my craft glue from Hobby Lobby to do this because it is an instantaneous hold on this ribbon. And this ribbon, I think, was from Stampin' Up! And so I just went through and cut a bunch of it up this morning. And I'm going to take and pierce that together, give that a squeeze. And then I'm going to hit it with my pouncer. I just had my pouncer this morning. There it is. To pick up that excess glue out of my way, so it's not sticking to me as I'm working. And then take and clip this down a little more. So we have that done. And then that piece is just about ready to go. Now, I took the Pool Party ribbon strips. Now, they wanted them stamped on white using the shaded spruce, using the Love and Joy. I just really didn't like the Love and Joy. I thought the piece fit better with the snowflakes. So I used the Pool Party instead. Stamped piece with Versamark, and then did heat embossing with the white embossing powder. If you are not familiar with, if you're new to stamping and you're not familiar with heat embossing, leave me a comment down below. Say, show me how that's done, and I will do a video. Okay, so each card uses one big snowflake and one of the small snowflakes. And I got everything all punched out that I could glue together except the one that I wanted to show you. There were 2 big ones and 2 small ones on each sheet. So I have those. And you know what? I think I can stay in frame. I'm going to sit down. Now with this one, I did use my Tombow liquid glue. And I put a dot right in the center of the big one. And then this one, we turn it cattywampus so that the smaller veins lay within the big ones. And I think we're pretty much there. Then what I did was I came back with one of the iridescent snowflakes. And I put another dot right in the center of that snowflake. Came back in with these iridescent ones, and I used one of the big ones to go right in the center. And then that squishes up enough that it's going to hold. I don't see my silver ones. I'm missing my silver ones. Let me see if they're sitting here somewhere amongst all the other stuff. And they're probably right in front of me. That would be my goal, is they'd be right in front of me. I will have to come back and fill that one out, but there's a sheet of these that are silver, and I put a small silver one in the center of that one. And then this sets off to the side. So I'm going to put a little bit more glue. Let's give that a little bit more gather there. Put a little glue on the back, and we're going to set that cattywampus off of here, just like that. And then came back in with my piece, and I used the large dimensionals for this one. And I'm going to put the one in the center and one on either end, just like that. Okay. I don't know where those silver sequins went up to. I'll check over here on a pile here in a minute. Okay, and then this is going to go. Actually, before I put, yeah, this will work. I was going to say before I put that in place, but let's go ahead and do that. Now, the bases were a little different. I cut some of them book style, but I did do two because I cut the paper the wrong way first. And so I have two that are tent cards. And I don't know where the other tent card went. It's here somewhere too. But we're going to go ahead and set this one. Now I've gone ahead. The base is in Pool Party. And then I've matted it with Whisper White, or Basic White as they call it now. And the tag part gets glued down flat on the card front. Okay. We're gluing that one right in the middle of the card front, just like that. So the only dimension we have is on that front piece. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to set some sequins going here and here and here, and that'll work. So there is card number 2, and they are that simple. Now I'm going to leave this one lay off to the side so I can see where I might have put the silver sequins. Here's the other tent card that I did. Oh, there's the silver ones. There's the silver ones. We can go ahead and get this out now. I put all the components over here in a box this morning and I couldn't find them. Now I'm using one of the small silver sequins in the center of the snowflake. Just as soon as I see what I did with that card. There we go. So it gives a little dimension on that sequin too. So there's card number 2 for this week. And we're going to go ahead and do a couple more of these while we have the time. I'm going to start with putting my glue here and on the back to catch that ribbon. My ribbon is already cut and pressed, so all I have to do is feed it through the hole. And I'm going to bring it up, and I'm going to start that in the glue, and I'm going to set it sideways because apparently I didn't do that very straight. You know me, how I do things straight or not, right? And there's those. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this front down to the card. I wasn't sure about the red and the brown, but when I saw that the tags were stamped on the Pool Party, I decided that's what I needed to use. So there's that. Let's get a strip of our... I have quite a bit snags here of sample paper. Well, the trims from the edges from the dimensionals. We can use those too, as well as the dots. See that right there. And then we've got this snowflake. I've got the snowflakes already put into position. Everything is put together. I just have to put it together. Just like that. And we need a sequin. Those are done. Let's do one of these. A couple of those. We have quite a few of those little ones, just like this. And there is card number 3. I just need to come in and put the sentiment on the inside. Now I could use the double-sided tape rummer, but some people like to keep their Christmas cards, so I always use glue for my inside piece. And then all I'll have to do is go back in and sign them. And I don't think I did the insides. I need 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yep. There was one of these that didn't get a liner in it. That one got a liner. The one we did together did not get a liner. There we go. Once you have components for a Christmas card, or any card for that matter, it's really easy to just go through and assembly line them if you need a bunch. I mean, they don't all have to be different. When you buy a box of Christmas cards, there's usually 3 or 4 designs in the box. So it's perfectly fine to get a design in mind and then just run with it. I'm going to set that aside. We're going to get our ribbon in here. So you don't have to make, if you've got to make 60 different cards, you don't have to make 60 different cards. You can make 5 of every kind, or 10 of every kind. Or make all 60 of them the same and do, this is my Christmas card this year. Next year I'll do this, and then that way you know which ones are the same. And you won't have to worry about, did I send that one to that person last year? I've done that. I'm not even so sure with what that's not going to happen this year with some of the cards that I had left over from last year. We shall see. Okay, our snowflake. Now at the back of the snowflake, I've been kind of following the path of the snowflake pattern. Just like that. Just like that. And then we need the 3 dimensionals up here. I do try to stay in frame as best I can, but when I'm setting down, I have a tendency to pull stuff closer to me so I can see, and that tends to put it out of frame. So if I go out of frame, I sincerely apologize. But you will always see the end result. Try and tuck that under there, like that. Okay, and we'll go ahead and get our sequins on here. And I'm going to use all the tiny ones on this one, I think, because we've only got 2 of the big ones left. And of course, I'm doing things in patterns of 3. And we're going to flip this one over. And see, as with the components already cut out, everything pre-punched, they go together really quick. Squiggle some glue in the center of that. Bring over a card base. And it's done. Just that quick. And then we're going to come back and put our liner on the inside. Now if I do the reindeer or the buck next year, and I'm going to use those for Yule cards, so I know they'll go to specific people, that I'm going to have to almost cut those a little wide. Remember, these are the card bases that are going in the envelopes from Hobby Lobby, that while they're supposed to measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, they don't completely. So we'll get another base up here. Let's get our snowflake put together. So have you started your Christmas cards yet? Do you send Christmas cards? Do you send a bunch of Christmas cards? I average about 100 Christmas cards a year. Now this year I've also decided I've not done any holiday baking for my gift boxes since the beginning of, since before 2019. And we all know why. So I decided this is the year I'm going to bake again this year. And when I do that, I deliver about 60 goodie boxes of home-baked goods to the businesses who have served us throughout the year. Yeah, we need to get our glue on here. And see, I'm just dabbing the front edge of the top edge of the brush. So it just puts a nice line right where I need it to go. Just like that. And we're going to come back and clip this. And clip that. And get that out of the way. That one come off a little short. That's what happens when you have essential tremors. Your fingers don't always do what you want them to do. So we're going to go ahead and cut that one a little short too. So it'll match. And then we're going to come back. Do our glue around the edge. Make sure we get some over that ribbon. Squiggle through the center. And then we can come back here and do this. And I'm pretty much centering the tag part in the center. Just like that. And I can use one of these as well as some of the small ones because I have enough. So at some point over the next couple of weeks, between now and Thanksgiving, I will figure out who all is getting cookie boxes this year. So I'll know how many cookies of everything I needed to bake and where they're all going. Oops. And we'll get those done and delivered. And Bob's home this year. This will be his first full holiday season home. So he can help me deliver boxes. Okay, and then we have one more base and one more thing here to do. So see, I'm just taking my brush and this end going straight down in the glue and just doing it straight up and down on the front and on the back. And it will catch the glue. The ribbon will catch the glue when I go through. So as I figure out which direction I need to go. And it can turn and do what it wants to do, because I really want to go the other direction. Just like that. Okay? And then we're going to try not to cut this one quite so short this time. There we go. And that worked out just fine. And now we have one more snowflake here to do. So we're just going to kind of follow the pattern of the snowflake. Get in the arms of that snowflake a little bit, just like that. See how we did that? Set it off to the side. Get our dots. And remember, we always put one in the center so we don't have a trampoline. Now, Bob is staying home today and getting ready for his trip to Oklahoma to our niece's wedding. So I'm going to go out and run errands today. I'm going to go to my favorite coffee shop in West Plains. It's called Conjure Coffee, run by Lily and Brandon. And I'm going to go sit in there and I'm going to read the book that I need to review this week for my author blog. It is called Christmas Lullabies. So that's going in this week. Now before I put that on the front, I'm going to go a little different this time. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to run this one. I'm running out of glue. I'm going to go ahead and run the inside in first. You know, Facebook is fine for sending greetings to people and letting them know that you remember them. But I also think it's very impersonal. Take time to send somebody an actual greeting card. And you don't have to spend a fortune on greeting cards. You can get boxes of greeting cards at the Dollar Tree. If you want to send special cards to somebody that you purchase, you can purchase those at Dollar Tree. It's okay. But take time to send a greeting. And I know it's a little early in the season, but when you start thinking about the Postal Service and whether or not they're going to do their job, it's not going to hurt to get an early start. And there we go. And just like that, how long did that take? We spent 13 minutes, 19 minutes, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 greeting cards for this week. Thanks for joining me in the studio today. Remember to please like, subscribe, and share me out so more people can get Christmas card ideas. And as always, creative Christmas blessings.